Alright lads, so we've got ourselves the latest All-Star Tower Defense X Update 5 tier list shared by Hanako on Discord, so a big shout out to him, and I'm telling you now, some of these new units are absolute bangers. Now then, let me show you the support units, because they've actually cooked this update. Jakarto Koju, and man's not only a solid DPS, but he brings a proper time stop into the mix. Stops enemies for about 4.5 seconds, which is massive if you ask me, but the only issue is he's competing with Etri, who's got that cheeky freeze passive and slows enemies even more, and honestly, it's a coin flip between the two, depends on whether you prefer locking things down or completely freezing them. Then we've got Starboy, and this lad is proper unique. He doesn't even need to be ascended to flex his ability. Like, he's got Life Giver, which basically cleanses all debuffs from your units. So, like, he unstuns your entire squad. If you've ever been bricked by stuns mid-run, you'll know how clutch that is. Also, his AoE and DPS aren't bad either, plus 4 placements makes him a solid support pick. Oh, and obviously, Ramen Guy is still king of money. If you're not bringing him, what are you even doing? Moving up the list, we've got the A tier gang, and with Non-Ratty here, which looks great on the field, massive AoE, but mate, the DPS is laughably low. You'll be staring at the damage numbers like, is that it? Some of the poison lands slide into this tier 2, which are fun if you fancy being different, but honestly, they're overshadowed by the meta DPS picks in my opinion. Don't get me wrong, these units aren't bad, they'll carry you through story and events, but in Infinite, you'll want like more firepower to compete. Right, so now here's where things get a bit spicy. The meta DPS monsters, and Simon, I really believe, is the golden boy of this update, hands down. He's literally the only controllable unit in the game, and his DPS is absolutely cracked. Like, it can go even up to 40k, so he doesn't even need Trace, and I think he's simply busted out of the box. And it's to the point where, like, I don't even know how the devs let him slide through testing. Okay, so then there's Kashibu, like, he's one of the real heavy hitters. After his buff, his DPS skyrocketed like crazy, so like he's sitting second highest on the charts right now, about 32k DPS, after Simon obviously. And Obito is up there too, insane damage dealer, and then Stark is my favourite. His early game at DBS is nuts. Proper cheap to place, and he just mows things down easily. Also, Kurama is full AoE and air hitting, that's value right there. And if you're broke or just can't be asked with evolutions, Risotto is low-key a gem. He's like a newer Durite, but he doesn't need anything fancy. Like, he just hops on the field and does his job. Now next is Meta Infinite and early DPS. And of course we've got to mention Diabolo. His DPS isn't mind-blowing, but his ability is really handy for knockbacks in infinite mode. Same story for some of the buff units, they're more situational, but still worth keeping in your back pocket. Poseidon and Benimaru are also top pick for DPS, both pushing into that Hilly's Lads Cook category. And please don't forget Frieza actually got a damage buff, nothing insane, but it nudges him closer to relevance again. So to wrap it all up, if you want to climb leaderboards, Simon and Kukishibu are the way to go now, and for support, Starboy is a must-have if you hate stuns, and of course, Ramen Guy is mandatory in every single loadout. Also, big shout out to Hanako and the stat team. If you want to check it out yourselves, I'll be leaving the Discord link in the description. So that's it from me. I'll catch you in the next one.